Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video training, you're going to learn all about Wireshark. This training will be useful if you're trying to get into cybersecurity field, whether it's blue team, red team, or any other technical domain in cybersecurity. Okay, understanding and reading network traffic is a highly valuable skill that will help you stand out in the competition when you're trying to apply to cybersecurity jobs. So make sure to watch this video till the end, because we're going to cover the basics, share some useful filters, and even dive into real-world packets from malware examples. Okay, but before I get started, you might be asking yourself, who is this guy? My name is Sohail, and I'm a cybersecurity consultant and engineer based in Australia with more than a decade of experience in the IT industry. Now, in my channel, I help people like you make the transition to cyber as fast as possible. What is Wireshark? Wireshark is an open source packet analyzer. Essentially, it allows you to see what's happening on your network at a very detailed level. Okay, imagine being able to look at every packet of data that's been sent or received over a network or on your interface card. Let's say your Wi-Fi adapter, Ethernet, as you can see in front of you. You'll be able to see what's happening on all these interfaces in a very detailed way when it comes to networking. It's one of the most popular tools in cybersecurity and network troubleshooting because it provides a detailed view of network traffic in real time or from saved capture files. What do I mean by that? So right now, as you can see in front of the screen, I can click on one of these interfaces and I can see what's happening inside that interface. But the thing is, let's say you have a Linux machine, a server somewhere else. What you can do, you can actually go SSH into that Linux server and you can run TCP dump and you can start capturing traffic on that host, and you can actually save that captured file into a file like a PCAP file. Okay, that's the format that Wireshark uses. So you can save all the captured file into PCAP, then you can import that file here on your Windows machine and start analyzing the traffic. Captured file from external sources. Hope that makes sense. Now you might be asking yourself, why do we need Wireshark as cybersecurity professionals? For cybersecurity professionals, Wireshark is invaluable. Like I said, let's say you're working in a SOC environment, a security operations center environment, and you receive an alert about unusual network activity on a host machine, on a Windows machine, on a server machine, doesn't matter. Wireshark allows you to capture and analyze that traffic in detail to understand what's happening. So let me actually draw you an image here. So imagine this. This is a LAN network, okay? And you have this server going on, and we have this firewall here that is controlling traffic, all the traffic that is going to the internet from the LAN network. All right, and you are sitting down here as a security analyst looking at all the alerts, incidents, events on your EDR tool or your SIEM platform, Splunk. All of a sudden you receive an alert from your SIEM platform saying that, okay, this Windows machine, this server is sending unusual traffic, or you're looking at the graph like being generated from your firewall telling that there is this massive surge in traffic, like uploading files from a source, and that source is this server. And unfortunately, you as a security analyst, you don't have the access to this firewall to look at the logs to see what's happening, to see what's the traffic that is being generated here. However, you have the access to this Windows machine. You can actually now log in to this host RDP and start running Wireshark, okay, on that server. So that way you can analyze what's happening in real time on that machine in terms of networking, the conversation, TCP traffic, UDP traffic, all that sort of stuff. There are other use cases as well. You can use Wireshark to detect malware communication with command and control servers, C2 addresses. You can also investigate data leaks. Maybe there is a host that's sending files through SMTP traffic. You want to understand what's going on. You want to see the detail of that traffic. Also, it helps you a lot with network troubleshooting. If a website is opening in a slow way, you can use Wireshark to troubleshoot that. Voice traffic troubleshooting, we use that all the time. As a blue teamer, okay, understanding what's normal versus abnormal traffic is critical, and Wireshark is the perfect tool for the job. Now let's get into some hands-on practices and things like that. As you can see, I have Wireshark now open in front of me. You might be asking yourself, how can I install this software on my Windows machine or on my Mac? Well, all you have to do is just visit their website, Wireshark, and click on download and download the right version for yourself. I am using Windows x64 right now, and when you install that software, what you're going to see after that is this. Right now I have all these interfaces on my machine, but what I'm interested right now is my Wi-Fi network, because that's how I'm connected to my network inside my home right now. I want to see what's going on inside my network over my Wi-Fi interface. Okay, I'm not able to see traffic on my, let's say, router. No. I'm only able to see everything that's going on over my interface, my Wi-Fi interface. So let me actually give you another example. This is my home network, LAN network, and this is the router that is connected to my service provider, okay? And this is my laptop here. When I run Wireshark, I can analyze all the things that are going through this interface, this Wi-Fi adapter. Maybe I'm getting traffic from my mobile phone. Maybe I'm receiving broadcast messages, ARP traffic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, this means that you need to make sure that you understand the fundamentals of networking. Everything that I'm saying here right now, it's all about networking. So as you already know, ARP is a broadcast type of traffic. It sends broadcast messages all the time. So in that case, I will definitely see some ARP traffic on this interface because I'm receiving it as well. So Wireshark is going to allow you to see everything that's happening here on an interface level. Hope that makes sense. Now back to the software. So I'm actually going to double click on my Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, click. As you can see, all this traffic is going through my Wi-Fi adapter. It's too much, you know. It's really hard to go through all these events in detail, you know, and it's just going on and going on and going on. It is capturing everything while I'm recording this video. So I'm not going to continue capturing. What I will do, I'm going to stop the capture right now. So when I click on stop, nothing will happen after that. There won't be any traffic captured on Wireshark when I click on stop. Okay, so what you can do right now, you can actually save this like all the captures that you're seeing right now. I can save it as a file and I can send it to someone else so they can review it as well. Now, one of the things that I always do when I start Wireshark or install it for first time on a machine is to make sure that I have the right columns in the application. So all you need to do to change a few things, especially the columns, as you can see, I have the packet number here, the time delta, the source IP address, destination IP address, the length of the traffic, the size of the packet. What else I have here? So you see, I have the protocol, is it UDP or is it TCP, TLS, the source port. So what else do we have here? You see, the TCP flag and things like that. You can customize this as per your preference, you know. All I have to do is just come down here and choose these options. So we have the number, time delta, source destination, length. You can do anything that you want to, you know. You can actually choose the HTTP host, content type, referrer, protocol, anything that you want. Well, now as you can see, we are seeing so many packets here, guys. Like, it's impossible for me to make a sense out of this thing. You know, the Wireshark is a good tool to capture everything, but after that, it's on you to find the needle in the haystack. That's your job. That's the skill that you need to develop. What am I going to do with all the captured files in front of me? How can I find what I'm looking for? One of the things that I always tell my student is to start with having a look at the conversations. What do I mean by conversations? Conversation allows you to see all the communication sessions between different IP addresses on your machine. This is great for identifying who's talking to whom on your network. Let me actually show it to you. Oops. So when I click on statistics, there is a section called conversations. When I do that, you can see what's going on. I can actually choose UDP, TCP, IPv6, IPv4, and Ethernet. I'm interested in IPv4. I want to see what are the conversations that's going on my Wi-Fi adapter based on the IP addresses. So as you can see, I'm talking to all these IP addresses right now. As you have guessed it right now, this is my private IP address in my network, 192.168.68.111, and I'm talking to all these public IP addresses here, as you can see. So this allows you to have a high-level overview of what's happening on your network, on your interface level. These are all the conversations that I'm having right now. At least I used to have when I was running the capture. Yeah, and it allows you to see what's going on. When I choose TCP column here, the header section TCP, this allows you to see all the TCP connections that are going over your network. Right now, I'm communicating with all these public IP addresses over 443 port, which is HTTPS. Okay, and let's have a look at other stuff. What else am I seeing here right now? This one. This is the port number. This is a weird port number. I don't know what that is. You see, when you're having a look at the conversations, this allows you to see what's going on. What are the port numbers that your machine is communicating with? 443, it's normal HTTPS traffic. But let's say these two port numbers are out of the ordinary. I don't know what these ports are. I have to actually go and do some research, or I have to click and apply it as a filter, okay, so I can analyze it in details. So let's say you have found something suspicious and you want to investigate it. All you have to do right now is just click on that traffic and apply it as a filter and choose AB, all the communications between A and B. See, now imagine this. If I had to go through all these details manually myself, it would be a nightmare. I don't like that. I don't want to do things manually. I want to make my job easier. And the best way to do that is to use the conversation tab. Hope that makes sense. Let's actually analyze that suspicious traffic that I was talking about. I'm not sure what this one is, to be honest, guys. So what I will do, I'm going to apply it as a filter, and I'm going to choose AB. Okay, so if I close this down, I can see what's the specific traffic inside my network. So this is my private IP address, 192.168.68.111, my private IP address. And you see the time delta is 0. So this means I was the one who initiated this traffic. This is the 0 traffic, the first packet in the conversation. And the destination is this, SLIN. This is a URL, right? So if I have a look at this one here, guys, I have the frame, Ethernet, and Internet Protocol version. I can see the IP address of the destination. This is the IP address, 172.253.118.188. So one of the first things that you can do as a cybersecurity professional is this. You're going to check who is the owner of that IP address. So all I have to do is just search the IP address, 172.253.118.188. Google LLC. So again, when I do that, I know that I'm dealing with something legit. Let's say this IP address belongs to someone in Russia or China or North Korea. That way you'll know that your machine is communicating with something bad. Alright, now let's go even deeper. I know the IP address, but I'm not sure about the port number. Why is it like that? So if I click on port section, you can see the source port. This is dynamic. It will be generated dynamically, automatically. However, the destination port is this 5228. What, I'm not sure what that is. You know, it's this really unique port number that Google is using. Let's actually do this. Google LLC 5228 port number. So you see Chrome connecting to this port number. So this is something to do with Chrome browser, normal traffic. You see, this is how you do your investigation in real world. Now there is this great website called malwaretrafficanalysis.net. Okay, this is a great website to actually get capture traffic from real world, you know, on real machine with real malware. All right, all you have to do is just click here, and there are different training exercises that you can use to do your analysis. Start from the latest one, you know, the one at the top. Click on that and it will give you the scenario as well, you know, the task, the things that you can do. Let's actually go through this example together. This is a real traffic analysis exercise, okay, from this website. All you have to do, first of all, you need to make sure that you're doing this on a sandbox environment, because you're dealing with real malware, and you have to be careful, guys, where you are doing this sort of exercises. Don't do it in your own personal machine. Do it in a safe environment, a sandbox, a virtual machine that is isolated. Alright guys, I've downloaded the sample Wireshark provided by the website, you know, and as you can see, there's so much traffic going on here. You know, I don't have the time to go through all these packets one by one, but what I can do, I can actually start doing my investigation. And this is the background. You work as an analyst at a SOC environment, blah blah blah. Alerts on traffic in your network indicate someone has been infected, a host machine, a server, or a user. Now, LAN segment details. This is the range, the private IP address range inside that network, you know. So if I go back here in the packet traffic, I can see the IP addresses here. Where is it? So if I click on this one, if I move it all the way down, I can see the range. You see, this is the private IP address, 1011. 1011. Amazing. This is the domain name, okay. .health Active Directory domain controller. So this is the IP address of the Active Directory, okay. AD environment, amazing. This is the gateway, the router, and the broadcast address. I don't care about that. Now, write an incident reports based on malicious network activity from the PCAP and from the alerts. Then you have to write the executive summary, victim details, and things like that. I don't have time to write the executive summary, guys, but what I will do, I'm actually going to walk through the thought process behind this, how you should start your investigation when you're dealing with this kind of scenario. The first things, like I said, I'll go to the statistic section and conversations, you know, click. Right now there's so much traffic going on here. I'm seeing DNS traffic, you know. This is, I think, Active Directory traffic, LDAP, as far as I remember. But I'm seeing a lot of DNS traffic, guys. Like large volume of it, and it's just between this and this IP address, 26.3 and 26.183, between these two sources. A lot of DNS traffic. What else? I'm also seeing HTTPS traffic, and this and this. By the way, I forgot to download the alerts as well. This is really important because the alerts are going to help us start our investigation. I forgot to download that, so I'm going to download this and I'm going to run it. So guys, as you can see, this is the alert that has been provided by this website. We have the time range. So what you can do, you can actually go with the time range, but that's not really detailed. Like, I only have the date, 26/11 of 2024. That's not going to be really helpful. But let's actually have a look at the event messages. So you see, we have all these destination port numbers, 80, 443, blah 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 blah. But let's see, what else do we have here? Requested for .text file, likely hostile. So this is the IP address that is communicating with. Source IP address to this destination public IP address. So that public IP address is suspicious right now. So what I will do, I'm actually going to write down everything here, guys. So the first suspicious thing is the IP address, the public IP address, 104.117.27184. That's one thing. Let's actually have a look at other stuff. Here we have a DNS traffic between private IP addresses, this IP address and this destination IP address. Okay, standard query response, name error. I'm not going to mention that that is suspicious, but let's continue for now. Microsoft encrypting file system remote protocol activity. Interesting. Potentially unsafe SMB1 protocol in use. So something suspicious is going on between these two machines. Probably we have lateral movement, I don't know, or a malware transferring something over SMB, because SMB is one of the things that are taken advantage of by hackers. They actually use SMB to transfer file, infect other machines inside the network. Let's actually go over other stuff. So far I know SMB traffic, Unicode share access. This is weird. DOS attempt. Interesting. So I know one of these host machines here, this one or the other one, is infected with something. I don't know. I'm going to note down the two private IP addresses here that we're talking about. 10.11.26.183 and this one, 10.11.23.3, and I'm going to actually mention that we're dealing with port number of 139.445, okay? And also DNS 53. Domain in DNS lookup. You see, guys? I'm actually able to see what's going on inside the alert. I'm not even talking about Wireshark right now. I'm just going through the alerts that were generated, in our SIEM platform or in our EDR tool. So this is the domain, probably an indicator of compromise. More than cracked apk.com. Probably someone is downloading something from this website. Unusual port, possibly hostile. Again, another indicator of compromise. This is another public IP address. So let me number it down. This is our third item. Our fourth item is this IP address, 64, because here I'm seeing this post, unusual port, possibly hostile, malicious net support, rat, checking. These are all red. So anything that happens after that is red. You see, first this machine tried to connect to this machine. It did a DNS query, give me the IP address of this domain name. Then after that it started communicating over HTTPS traffic. Probably it's receiving and sending a malicious file or something. Then after that it requested for geolocation through another IP addresses. This one is another public IP address. This is weird. We have another thing here, guys. Another public IP address which is in the mix that is suspicious. 104.26.1231. So guys, let me show you how I would approach this alert if I was a security analyst or a SOC specialist at a company, okay? So the first thing that we have to do is to run a playbook. Most of the companies have their own playbooks, but I'm going to do this based on my previous experience. I'm going to find out about the indicator of compromise, host information, what's the source IP address, who is the victim here, the host name, the user who was using that machine at that time. So I'm going to collect all the information, and you can start doing that by going through the alert. So based on what I'm seeing right now in front of me, I can tell, like here, this is the alert that was generated, red. If I don't know, like maybe all of them are alerts, but I can tell that this one is red, and this is the source IP that is generating some DNS traffic to the outside world, and it's doing a DNS lookup for this domain, which is likely a malicious website. So I can tell that this IP address is most likely the victim here. Okay, so I'm going to write that down in my notepad. So alert, this is the executive kind of summary that I'm writing right now. Alert was triggered, I don't know the exact day, but the date is 26/11/2024, let's say. Probably a rat was downloaded, or it was, or the victim tried to visit a malicious website. This is all I have right now. I'm just guessing. Okay, I'm starting my investigation. This is how you should approach this, like a true cybersecurity professional. You're a police officer in this case. Okay, so let's do this together, guys. Source IP, I'm going to mention victim, to be honest, not source. Victim IP address is 10.11.26.183. What else do we have? I'm looking for host name as well. So if I go to my Wireshark and choose one of these, let me move this around. I can see this is the host name. I think this is the one. So I'm going to write that down, because I'm adding all this information inside the ticket. So the incident responder, the person maybe in the next layer in the SOC team, can investigate in a really better way. So the host name is desktop B8TQK49. Okay, cool. Like when you're working on an EDR tool, you're most likely going to get all this information from your EDR tool. If it's CrowdStrike, let's say, you're also going to get the user's information, the person who was logged into that machine at that time. Right now, I don't have that information with me right now, so I actually have to find out. Okay, if this machine is part of a domain Active Directory group, a domain controller, we can easily get that information by doing a search inside Wireshark. We can look at all LDAP queries inside the network. And I don't remember the query. You can use ChatGPT to get that filter. I did that myself. So the filter is, I'm going to copy and paste it here. So this is looking for LDAP attribution description. So if I go and find out all these LDAP sessions, I can easily find that information, like the user information, but I don't have time to go through all the packets. You can do that manually. You can go through all the LDAP packets and find a username if you don't remember the filter. Alright, but I actually copied the content from ChatGPT and it has given me this. So let's actually go through all the content here, as you can see. Oh, okay, I have the username. You see, GSS API payload. I have the name, Oliver Q Boomwalt. So this is the username, guys. So I'm actually going to mention it here. Active Directory user or domain name. It's Oliver Q. I'm not going to mention the rest of the name. So you see, this is how I'm reporting everything that I've learned. Now, let's go back to the alert again. What do I have here? I have SMB here. I have DNS. So this one is red. You see, this is really useful. Right now, I know for a fact that we're dealing with something suspicious, like this domain name. In my own experience, I've found that one of the best things that you can do when you're doing your investigation is to look at DNS traffic, all the DNS traffic that is going there through the network. So I'm actually going to do that. So this is the victim IP address. I'm going to use that as a filter. I'm going to use a filter that looks for this source IP and any any type of traffic that is DNS. Okay, all DNS traffic. So this is what I'm going to do. src, I think the filter was ip.src. Yep, DNS, enter. Interesting. This is what I get when I typed in the filter. I'm seeing all the traffic coming from this source to this destination over DNS port number application. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the domain name system query here, the query itself. You see, this is the query, the domain name, and it's type A. I'm going to just click the arrow button here, down arrow button here, and I'm going to look at all the queries that I have here. This is normal. I know for a fact that all these domain names are normal. LDAP, this is normal. Windows, I don't know. Yeah, this one is also related inside that environment, probably a load balancer there. Windows, Bing, okay, MSN. If you don't know any of these URLs, you have to go and do your investigation on this. I know for a fact that all of this is healthy. This belongs to Microsoft, which is great. Oh, you see, everything seemed normal up to this point. I don't know anything about that URL. This is weird. classicgrand.com. What that is, I don't know. So what I will do, I'm going to open up my browser and I'll go to VirusTotal. This is a great tool that you can use to check the health of that domain, whether it's malicious or not, if it's known to everyone else. If this is a new domain and no one has reported it yet, VirusTotal will be useless. But I'm going to check it anyway. classicgrand.com. Oops, sorry, I'm typing the wrong one. Classic. What do we have here? Everything seems normal here. Interesting. I have one report here, detection. When I type in this is another IP address. Interesting. This IP address once was considered malicious content. So right now I'm not getting anything, and if I actually go to the website, probably right now at the time of the recording of this video, there's nothing suspicious going on with this website. So everything seems normal. I'm not finding anything. Let's go back to our Wireshark again. If I go down, I'm seeing the same website. Oops, all of a sudden I'm seeing this. So something is going on. Probably when a person visits that website at that time during like 2024, probably that website was referring people to another malicious website. Maybe it was a malware or a URL redirect, I don't know. But I can see that I'm getting this during the same time period, you know. This is the URL. So I'm going to add that again. This is all the indicator of compromise, guys. I'm adding all the things that are suspicious. More than cracked apk.com. Alright, this is one. Alright, this one is here. Cool, let's go back to the alert again. What are the other things that I can check? I can check SMB traffic, yeah. But one thing that stood out for me here in this alert is this one. Traffic to this IP address and this one on port 80. Why is that? This is weird. Request for .text file, and the alert is telling us it's likely hostile. So what I can check, I can actually create another filter based on this source IP address and this destination IP address. Let's actually have a look at that. So I'm going to add src IP, okay. Oh, sorry, ip.src 10.11.26.83 our victim. Oh, I forgot to add another equal here. And okay, ip.dst 104.117.27.84. What do I have here? Okay, I only have 80 traffic on the HTTP, which is unencrypted version of HTTP as web traffic. So let's actually go from the start. This is the first packet. This is the flag. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the packet itself. The first one is actually, I think, SYN TCP handshake. Okay, you see this one, the length of this traffic is higher. The first the protocol we're seeing right now is TCP. This is the HTTP content, and the length is higher than the rest of the packets. So let's actually explore this one. Hypertext protocol, HTTP traffic. This is the text file. Connect test. So it tries to go to this URL and tries to download this file. Interesting. Why is that? You should investigate that. Okay, let's go back to the alert one more time. Another thing that stood out for me is this, guys. So we're actually going through destination port number of 443. This is encrypted HTTPS, right? But the interesting part is I'm able to see HTTP traffic inside this packet. So this is weird. Why we're sending unencrypted traffic over HTTPS port number? So I'm seeing HTTP traffic right now. So what I will do, I'm actually going to use another filter, and I'm going to check all the HTTP traffic coming from this source to this destination. Hope that makes sense. So let's actually do that. I'm going to change the IP address to I can actually go back to my notepad. Where's the alert? 194. Is this the one? Yes. I'm going to copy and paste this here. Interesting. All of this is really interesting, guys. So you see, I want to make sure that I have another column that gives me some of the information inside the packet. So I can actually add that. There is a column here called info. Okay. So you see, I can now see the content inside this URL, and I have found this fake URL. This is weird. Like, why am I saying this on this IP address? And it's posting something. It's a post traffic. I'm sending something to this IP address on this URL. Okay, so let's actually go inside it and see what's going on. Unencrypted HTTP protocol detected over encrypted port. Wireshark is telling me now. Wireshark is telling me that this indicates a dangerous misconfiguration. And this is the one. We're posting something to this URL, and the user agent is net support manager. So we are dealing with an application, something called net support. I don't know what that is, and it's sending this kind of traffic to the outside world. So I'm going to add all of that, guys. Interesting. And this is the command line. I think it's CMD, key CMD, and it's sending this value. Very interesting. So I'm going to include all of that in my report, guys. So sending traffic over HTTP on 443 port number. Which is weird and suspicious, guys. I mean, this is just a rough report. It's not really detailed, but now you see how I do this thing. So guys, I hope this session was informative for you. If you have any questions around this topic, just leave them in the comment section, and I have a gift for you as well. So you probably are wondering, oh, I don't know these filters, I don't know how to use these filters, I don't want to memorize everything. So I actually did that for you. So I have this Notion, note-taking app, and I have listed all the important filters that you can use in your troubleshooting or investigation during an incident. So I'm going to put it on a Google Doc, and I'm going to put the link in the description of this video. Go ahead and get this Google Doc and try to play around with Wireshark. It's really fun, and you're going to learn a lot about investigation, networking, and all that sort of stuff. See you in the next video.